I wanted to test out some cheap podcasting microphones, say at the $100 price point or lower. I've even got a $30 microphone we'll be including in the test. Now, when it comes to cheap podcasting microphones, somehow the Blue Yeti microphone, what I'm recording on right now, has seemingly become like the de facto standard. Like if you do any research out there about starting a podcast or podcast microphones, you're inevitably going to find a ton of people saying, just get the Blue Yeti microphone, you get pretty high quality audio at a relatively low cost, so get a Blue Yeti, plug that thing in, and start recording your podcast. But I have to say, the more microphones I've tested, the more I've been disappointed with the Blue Yeti. And I actually started podcasting with a Blue Yeti several years ago. That was my first podcasting microphone. I used that for a while. Then I switched to the Blue Yeti Nano, which I'm actually recording on right now. It fundamentally utilizes the same internal componentry and gets the same sound quality as the traditional Blue Yeti. When recording in the cardioid setting, it's just smaller and it lacks some of the directional settings. And since I basically record solo or, via video, I'm not using any of the directional settings, and I wanted a smaller microphone, I switched to the Blue Yeti Nano. Because, when you're using the Blue Yeti, the traditional Blue Yeti, it's like this big microphone here that really takes up a lot of your shot. So the Blue Yeti Nano is small and unobtrusive in the shot. So anyways, I started with the Blue Yeti, used that for a few years, then I switched to the Nano when it came out, which again gets the same audio quality as the traditional Blue Yeti, just in a smaller package with limited directional settings. And then I started exploring other microphones, and like I said, the more I tested other microphones, the more disappointed I was in the Blue Yeti. So that brings us to this test here. Which microphones will we be testing out? We'll start from lowest price point to highest price point. At the lowest price point, we've got the Fifine K669 microphone. You can pick this bad boy up for like $30, and then I do have a foam cover going over the top of it. I got a pack of these foam covers, I think $6.99 for 3 of them on Amazon. So all in here on this little package, less than $40. And then we've got the Q2U by Samsung. This little package here costs $70, and it came with this little foam cover over it. This is a dynamic microphone. I should point that out. This microphone is a dynamic microphone. All of the other microphones tested here, like the Blue Yeti, the K669, and the other one I'm going to talk about are condenser microphones. So they get a deeper sound. The condenser microphones sound a little bit deeper, but they also pick up the room sounds, the echo and background noise. So you'll notice with the condenser microphones like the Blue Yeti, you're getting more of that background noise. You're getting more of that echo. And I've got a real echoey, roomy sounding room. My office here has like 12-foot high ceilings, so it's really high. There's a lot of echo, a lot of wall space. I do have foam directly in front of me. That helps substantially with the echo. If I didn't have that there, my audio in here would just basically be unusable. But, it's not perfect. So anyways, with the Q2U being a dynamic mic, it just picks up your voice coming into it. If you have a lot of background noise, which I'm not testing here, I don't have any background noise, the dynamic mic is certainly the way to go. In this microphone, I think I said costs $70. Then at the $80 price point, we've got our Blue Yeti Nano, the traditional Blue Yeti, which has more settings, goes for a little over 100, I think, 110, 120. It's early 2022 and inflation is just rampant. I don't know what it goes for, but I got this Blue Yeti Nano and I just checked the price on it yesterday and it's going for $80. So I've got the Blue Yeti Nano in here. We'll be hearing audio samples from that. And then finally, I've got this one right here. This is the Rode NT USB Mini. I just picked this bad boy up last week for about $100, a little less. It was like $99.99. So I guess that's $100. Any normal person would call that $100. So I got this microphone here. Also a condenser microphone that we'll be including in the test. Now I will say that all these microphones here record in the cardioid pattern only except for the Blue Yeti Nano. So all these microphones here record in a cardioid pattern, which means picking the audio up, straight into it, straight at the direction that I am speaking into it. The Blue Yeti Nano does have a setting on the back where you can toggle it to be omnidirectional and just pick up all the sound around it. But that said, for the testing purposes here, it will be in the cardioid setting. And finally, before we actually get to the audio samples, let's talk about placement here. I'm going to be recording with the microphones about 5 to 6 inches from my mouth. All right, so 5 to 6 inches from my mouth, and I'm going to be using a gooseneck stand. Let me show you my gooseneck stand. It is a desktop gooseneck mount. It's a mouthful to say, but there it is. And I like recording with that because you can get the microphones into pretty good placement. You can get them into pretty good placement pretty easily. You don't have a boom arm coming in from the side obstructing your shot, so this is pretty minimal. It just sets right on the desk. You can get pretty much any good microphone into good placement with minimal obstruction of the shot, obstruction of the scene. I do a lot of video podcasting, so it's very important to keep it all minimal. And yeah, for that reason, I like using the gooseneck. Now notice, one thing we'll notice is all of these microphones come with a little stand that you can use with them. I was just looking to see if I've got one of the stands around here, but I don't. I guess I've taken them off. There we go. I had this one on the floor nearby. This is the Blue Yeti stand. But when you use the stands that come with these microphones, you don't get the microphone into good placement for optimal recording. So I've taken them all off the stands. I'll be testing them on a gooseneck. So if you want high quality audio for a podcast, more important than the microphone, or just as important as the microphone, I don't know about more important, but just as important is getting the placement right. So you can pick up one of those gooseneck stands like I'm recording on down there, if you can see me pointing, which you just saw for about $18, I think is what I paid for that little thing, and you can still get it for that price. It's worth investing in that. So yeah, before we get into the audio samples from these microphones, let me just talk to you a little bit about the editing and gain adjustment that's going to go into this test. First of all, there will be no editing other than adjusting the gain on the input software that I'm using to record. So I'm recording this using Camtasia. When you go to record, you get this little toggle right here that lets you adjust the input gain of your microphone. This will be the only adjustment that I'm making to the audio. No other editing will be done. Quite frankly, I'm a very minimal kind of dude, particularly when it comes to audio and video. I like to just plug and play. I do know enough to adjust my gain setting, so the gain setting will be adjusted for the test. I'm going to adjust each microphone to peak at -6 to -12 decibels when I read this sentence. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Right, you've seen it go up to about -6 there at the high point, and that is about where I'm going to be setting it on all the microphones when I'm recording. Also, one other thing too, I guess I've been sharing a lot of one other things. Before we get to it, I'll also include a sample with these in there. These are the earbuds. The microphone is actually pretty high quality for a cheap earbud microphone. I'll include a sample in here just so you can kind of benchmark a low quality microphone compared to these other microphones that I'm going to be testing. So here we go. Let's go to the audio samples. This is the earbuds microphone. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the Fifine K669. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the Samsung Q2U. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the Blue Yeti. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the Rode NT-USB. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is a Plosive Test with the earbuds microphone. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is a Plosive Test with the Fifine K669. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is a Plosive Test with the Samsung Q2U. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is a Plosive Test with the Blue Yeti. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is a Plosive Test with the Rode NT-USB. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. This is an extended test with the earbuds microphone. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Fifine K669. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Samsung Q2U. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Blue Yeti. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Rode NT-USB. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. After listening to those audio samples, I have to say the one that really impressed me is this K669 by Fifine, the little $30 microphone with the few dollar foam cover over the top of it. This is the only one that really didn't pick up any of the plosives. So now, considering that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the placement of all these microphones. Rather than having the microphone directly in front of my lips, I'm going to move it down a couple inches so that they're a little under the projection of my voice. So let me just move the K669 down there. I'm going to move it down to right about there and kind of tilt it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put all the microphones in about the same position and do a test. I'll do the extended test with all the microphones in that position a little bit lower than my lips so that we can hear the audio samples there. Maybe and hopefully that helps out quite a bit with the plosives. Here we go. This is an extended test with the Fifine K669. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Samsung Q2U. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Blue Yeti. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. This is an extended test with the Rode NT-USB. The small pup gnawed a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. Alright, so changing the position of the microphone and moving them all a little bit below my lips really helped all of them with the plosives, except for the K669, which really didn't need any help to begin with. So after hearing all of the audio samples, what do you guys think? Which one of these microphones do you think sounded the best? Was it the low-cost K669 by Fifine, the Blue Yeti Nano, the Samsung Q2U, or the Rode NT-USB? Let me know which one you guys think sounded the best in the comments below. Personally, for me, I really love and was genuinely impressed by the K669. It did incredible on the Plosive Test. I think it did better than all of the other mics on the Plosive Test. It picks up pretty good and pretty clear sounding audio. My voice sounds really good in it. And yeah, I just really like the K669. It also isn't very finicky. Like if you move it around, it just kind of works, right? Whereas with the Blue Yeti here, this thing is really finicky. I'll say it does get good deep audio. The Blue Yeti does pick up a nice deep sound, but it's just kind of finicky. It picks up a lot of your breathing noises, your lip noises, your mouth noises, and really butchers the plosives. Possibly with a foam cover over the top and a pop filter, it'll get much better quality audio. But here for this test, we are just testing these right out of the box. And why would you want to go with something that's going to need that right out of the box when you can get better alternative options, as you see here? So I was least impressed and most disappointed with the Blue Yeti. And I say disappointed considering its reputation and, the way I described it in the intro, everybody just kind of flocks to the Blue Yeti, gives this thing strong recommendations and says this is like the best quality podcasting mic for a low budget, when in reality, I think we're seeing that it is not. The Q2U did a really good job at picking up my voice, as you would expect. Sounded really crisp, really clear, didn't get any of the room sounds or the echo. If we had background noise, this would probably be the go-to choice. But I would say this was, I don't know. I keep talking about the K669 like I really love it. This is a really good microphone too. Obviously, it's a little bit higher on the pricing scale, but I really like the Q2U as well. It didn't do so well on the plosives, I don't think it did as well as the K669. And since I'm mentioning plosives, we'll just kind of bring the NT-USB in here. The NT-USB did pretty well on the plosives, but I still prefer the Q2U over it. And I guess I just prefer it because of the way it picked up my voice and whatnot. And also its price point, $70 versus $100. So yeah, between these microphones here and the ones that I've got, I've already put the Blue Yeti Nano down, so we'll just kind of disregard the Blue Yeti. Then K669, I think, was my favorite. I liked the way it sounded. I liked its plosives. I just kind of like everything about it. And then if I had to go with a close runner-up, I would say the Q2U, followed by another close third place, the NT-USB. Anyways, guys, if you want to pick up any of these microphones or check the current pricing on them, I will put a link in the description of the video to where you can find them online, probably on Amazon. You can check the current pricing on there and pick one of these microphones up if you want to get started podcasting with one of these microphones, or maybe you're already podcasting and you just want to pick up another microphone. I know, obviously, you can see I've got 4 of them here, and I've also got some more on the shelf behind the camera, so it's like I guess I'm collecting and hoarding microphones at this point. Yeah, that's where things goes. Anyways, that's a wrap on this video, guys. I hope you found it helpful and insightful. I'm signing off on this one.